Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 426.
426.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Band Travel. So much is going on this year as far as Disney. We have the Disney Wishes coming up. Right now we have the EPCOT International Festival of the Arts. And then
Flower and Garden
is coming up. And we got Lunar New Year right now at Disneyland. And Disneyland Paris is turning 30.
And
so
April,
that's
April
coming.
12th.
Yes, I mean, they're going to kick it off a little earlier than that, but so much is going on. Check out MEI and Mouse Band Travel for all of your Disney travel needs.
So on this week's show, we're going to talk all about the EPCOT International Festival of the Arts. But first, we are on the monorail here to take a look at some of the construction projects going around EPCOT.
Well, it's been a while since we've taken the monorail, so it was fun to kind of see what's going on. First up is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which is scheduled to open this summer as a family-friendly reverse launch coaster.
And remember, I've been in that building and seen the tracks and everything. It looks amazing, so I cannot wait for that.
I can't wait. I can't wait to ride it. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
And you just saw some progress there. On the entrance, you can look, and there is the Play Pavilion. I don't know what's going on. Do we have any idea?
I have heard nothing about it.
Yeah, same here.
So we would have just passed what will be Connections Cafe and Eatery in World Celebration. That's going to replace what used to be Electric
Umbrella.
Yes, Electric Umbrella. So I can't believe it wasn't right on the top of my head, considering how many times we've been there the many, many years. And Martin loved it.
Our friend Martin Smith was, honestly, not a joke. He actually really did like it. I liked the wall carpet in there, but he actually liked to dine there.
That was their first every trip.
We would sit there and hang out with them, but not exactly dine with them. That's what I remember. And
now we're passing by where Journey of Water, inspired by Moana, would be. And that's going to be a little while. And I think Dreamer's Point also is back there. So a lot is still coming. And I have no idea when all of this will be opening.
Well, hopefully we'll see the Connections Cafe and Eatery opening somewhat soon. I don't know about the water and all that, but at least the restaurant.
Well, I hope so. We haven't had, that big restaurant, the Electric Umbrella, in a couple years now. So Festival of Arts, you can see here the tube of paint. It actually squeezes out into those flowers and makes a really nice effect.
Right, and here is a new stylized Figment here for the entranceway. And what you mentioned is very cool because it expands to the other areas, and you can see the flowers with the paint. You
mean as far as the purple? You can see that here also. It says Royal Purple Pigment, and again that you can see those purple flowers emanating from it. So I thought that was a really nice effect. EPCOT International Festival of the Arts runs daily through February 21st. It's really a short festival. It's only about 6 weeks, 39 days. And unlike, let's say, EPCOT International Flower and Garden Festival, which this year will be 4 months.
Here's another prop, the Autumn Flower Orange. And you can see with the flowers, the orange coming out there. I think that'll grow in soon.
I'm sure. So it really looks nice. And again, the yellow. And actually, I hadn't really noticed I didn't really notice the flowers until I noticed the purple.
Right.
Because they're not as grown in as they are in the front.
And there's another purple with the flowers.
Yes.
So very nice. Here we go. It is the opening day of the festival. This is the line for the Figment popcorn bucket. And it was 6.5 hours or so.
Well, it was, at one point, it was supposed to be 6 to 7 hours total, which is... I can't even imagine that for a popcorn bucket, but I guess if you're wanting a popcorn bucket, and they went through thousands of them, and currently it's sold out. I do not know if it's coming back or not.
Well, luckily I ran into a friend who had one. We were unable to get one, but here he is. He's very cute, by the way. I mean, it is a nice bucket. It was $25. I think you were able to buy 2. There was no discounts of any kind, and at least on opening day, and you're going to see here, he came with rainbow popcorn.
And I think the rainbow popcorn at some point sold out,
right.
And then they did the spork,
substituted that spork.
Yes, yeah, and you can buy the spork for $2.50, like I saw it at Tangerine Cafe the other day.
Even the lanyard, though, is very nice with the different artwork, classic Figment artwork there, and you could see that stylized Figment was on the popcorn.
But I loved the cake that Jilly Cakes brought in that looked just like it.
And here we also have the Figment brush with the Masters game, and we're only going to show one, but we'll see that later on. I think we're going to look at Norway. This is the chock full of character scavenger hunt, I call it, around World Showcase. I would say this is probably one of my favorite aspects of the entire festival.
Well, I love it, and I think I like it, but I do like it better than Figment's brush with the masters. When they first started this, there wasn't really a name for it. They just put, decals.
Yeah, there was no
around
sign.
World
It wasn't
Showcase.
announced. You just discovered this.
Right, and so it's really fun because there were new characters to find this year. Coda is back. He is, has a fish, and he is in Canada, but he is not the only character this year in Canada. And the next character we'll see, who is new, is Mei Lin from Disney and Pixar's Turning Red, which will be coming out in March on Disney Plus.
And it's very interesting because not a lot of guests will know right away who the panda is. And can you tell me a little background? I know you've done a little research on the film.
Well, she's a teenage girl, and when she gets emotional, she turns into a red panda. And so, we don't know. Obviously, I haven't seen the whole film or anything, but we'll find out more as when the movie comes out.
Yeah, I look forward to that. And when we were in Canada, I was able to see my friend Don Williams. He is a character artist, longtime character artist. He's now retired, but he still does a lot of art, and he's appearing this year at the Festival of the Arts.
And there's like 100 artists, or more than 100 artists, who do participate, and there is Alex Mar.
We've known Alex again for a long, long time. We used to always hang out at the NFFC conventions in California, and he's been an artist for many years. And it was great to see Alex.
And that's a beautiful painting of Cinderella. He has several new artwork this year.
So we'll take a look in on some of the artists as we go around World Showcase and kind of do our scavenger hunt.
And you can see it's the holidays still as we are walking around, and that was until like mid-January. So some of what you'll see will look like it's still the holidays.
Now this is pretty much the same that they've had every year. It is the characters from Robin Hood.
And it's not only the same, but it's the same location as
Right.
has been there for several years over by Lords and Ladies. And we can see here Mary Poppins.
But Peter Pan's shadow is in a much better location because he used to be on the other side really high. You could barely see him. And this is perfect because there's a window there.
Right.
So this, I think this is an excellent change for this year's scavenger hunt.
I guess I never thought one way or the other. I figured.
Well, before it didn't make as much sense without the window. So anyway, we're now in France. I love this view. It's a beautiful day. Look at that tree with the pink and everything. Here is a new development we're about to see, though. I'll let you set this one up. This is your favorite, I think.
Well, it's one of my favorites. Like, I love France, and I love Ratatouille. It's my favorite animated film. So having Remy and Emile. So Remy and Emile changed, and they changed the artwork on the decals, and so we'll see Remy running up the pipe essentially, and then Emile still is doing what he did in the other artwork that had been here in previous years. He's got a macaron, but Remy is much sleeker and is actually doing something. The other Remy and Emile, they didn't look very good. It was really hard to see who they were.
Right. This Remy is certainly more on model, and he's actually, as you said, it tells a story. He's going up the pipe, and Emile is probably going to steal his goodies, as Emile would do.
I don't think he stole anything. I think
he has his own.
I think Remy's coming up to get it. But Emile also had this macaron in the previous artwork, but it wasn't. This one's a much nicer looking one. Lumiere's back.
And what's funny is there used to be a light in past years here, and Lumiere would be standing by the light, like the lantern. Well, now the lantern's gone, but Lumiere is still here, so it doesn't quite make as much sense. I expect him to be moved next year.
He could just end up being back there. That's kind of his place. And we have the Aristocats here on La Petite Rue, and which would be the small street. And so they've been here.
I never knew that. See, this is what helps about you learning French.
No, but Petite is small. We already know that. And then Rue would be street. So.
Well, that's good.
So anyway, there's
Oh, and the Biff. Yes, and we're both doing his signature pose there, the Biff, and I was able to get some nice new artwork. I love this Disneyland art that he did, and he signed it for me. That was very nice. So it was great to see the Biff and add to our collection.
And the original is, if it's still there, in the American Adventure over at the Art of Disney.
And look at this motley crew. It was great to see our good friends.
Yes, Axel and Dan.
Yes, wonderful. So now we are in Morocco, and we're going to have multiple things we're going to talk about in Morocco, starting with the scavenger hunt piece.
And well, Abu, I think he's been there every year. Like, I don't think they've moved him at all as far as where he's located.
Well, again, for the story that he's telling, it's perfect.
Oh, it's a great location.
He's actually grabbing one of these pots up here. So, if that pot ever went away and they still put him, it wouldn't make as much sense, would it?
Well, they could move the pot to somewhere else and move him a little bit. So
they
then
could.
To make it, where you actually put him somewhere else.
But this was great because we were able to try the food items here, and they were all really, really good.
Well, the Tangerine Cafe, they started having food again for the different festivals during EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival. I think is the first one that they did last year.
Yeah, because it was after Disney took over the Morocco Pavilion. That's when that's the reason originally the Tangerine Cafe closed. So now and it's better than ever. I love this. I think it's great.
During the Food and Wine Festival, we were here fairly often. This was where we came and got our lunch, our dinner, and I think during Festival of Arts,
we've already done this twice.
Yes,
I expect to do it again.
The food here is excellent. The harissa chicken. There's stone-baked Moroccan bread with hummus and fig tepa. I'm trying to remember how to say it. Tempanade. I'm trying to. I don't know how to say it,
but I can tell you what, it's good. It tastes very good.
The carrots were excellent.
Oh, the carrots 3 ways. We're going to see that soon too.
It's
surprisingly
like
good.
Carrot puree with the grilled carrots. I thought it was very creative and delicious.
I would get this again in a heartbeat. And we just took a look at your drink. Why don't you quickly tell us what that drink was, the alcoholic drink you had there?
Swilled Dog Sangria hard cider. The hard ciders to me taste relatively similar, at least the ones that we've had here. But it was a nice one. And then the fig was really good in here. You didn't like the one with cilantro as much. It wasn't a hit at our table at all. And then they had the hummus. So the stone-baked bread, they've done that on several festivals now.
And I think this is the lamb kefta, which our friend Cindy tried and said it was excellent.
So I don't eat lamb, so we didn't try it, but we've been there twice now.
And I know we'll go back. I can guarantee.
We will, because the food there, they've really done an excellent job at bringing creative and delicious items.
So now we are in Japan, and this was not up the day right before the festival started, but it was there. This was opening day when I took this footage. In here you have Gelatoni, and you also have Duffy the Disney bear.
But they've been here before. This isn't new for this year, but they're creating Mickey Mouse there. And then I'm trying to Amos. Is it Ben from Amos and Me? I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
But I know what you're referring to, and here he is right here. Right. Ben from Ben Franklin.
And I've never seen it, so I'm only going by what I've read online.
And this has been there almost every year. The very first year there was something a little bit different, very small, and it was above the entrance to Club 33.
And I didn't even notice there's like a. Do you see this?
Yeah, his hole there where he goes.
Didn't notice that before. So our friend Jason Ratner had created this Jessica Rabbit art, and this one is the one-of-a-kind piece. I don't know if it's still there, and it has like Swarovski the crystals, like 200 of them in there. It's really, really beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. And here is the original McBiff painting, which I think has, by now, it's probably sold.
I have no idea if it's sold or not, but it's a Disneyland. I love
the frame. The frame is, the whole thing is great. I love it.
It's like, it's a Disneyland map. So here at, we're again still in America, and we had done that one, the The photos.
Yeah,
They have a variety of different photos you can do, photo ops. And then Animation Academy is back, and this runs a couple times per day.
And we can see it's hosted by our friend Lon Smart there. So nice to see him in action.
I had no idea until you told me.
He
that
put it on his
Lon.
Facebook page. He's going to be doing this.
I'm not on Facebook
As much,
all that
yeah,
much.
that's
I'm on
true.
Twitter most of the
Look at the
most of
crowd,
time.
though. They got a nice crowd. It was, again, a beautiful, I would like to say a beautiful spring day, but it's still winter, but it felt like a beautiful spring day.
Well, tomorrow's going to be chilly. Like, it's going to be like 63 as a high.
That's the heart of winter for us, 63
It is.
degrees.
It is. Today is cold. It's in the 50s out right now during the day.
Freezing.
So Jiminy Cricket is back. He is here in Italy. He will not be the only character in Italy. There's some new ones. And while when we saw Turning Red, Maylin, I was like, I wonder if they'll have Luca. Mm-hmm. And actually, I was wondering if they'd have Soul also, like Joe Gardner from Soul, but they did not.
We looked around the American Adventure for him.
But Luca, yes. We have Machiavelli, who I always think of as like a pug. He's a cat, but it reminds me of a pug.
This is so perfect because it's above the water fountain, and guests were having, drinking water in between taking these video clips and taking pictures. So, and it's perfect. I love it very much. And yes, there is the cat.
And so while the last time we were there, he was gone.
He had run away.
He was gone. So maybe somebody has him now. But yeah, I thought the water fountain, and you thought of that, it's kind of like, it's like the water splashing and hitting Luca and Alberto here.
Yeah, I love, the whole thing is I love all the storytelling from the chalk art.
Well, it's decals.
Well, whatever.
But it's chock full of characters.
So even the Germany train station, or train display is celebrating the festival.
Well, they celebrate...
With the new logo.
Yes, they usually celebrate the festivals. It's mostly just with the banners, and it's always fun to see the little banners, and sometimes they'll have other things going on for like the flower and garden. So
now we're into Germany, and what do we have here?
There's 3 Pascals as always. So Pascal here is painting a sun. Of course, they're from Pascal's from Tangled, and so and actually Pascal is not the only character in Germany this year.
That's
either.
right. We're about to see character number 2 here, and we're kind of panning along. And over here, over the caramel couche here, is the bee.
I had not... Spike the bee.
Spike the bee.
Spike the bee.
How can I not remember Spike the bee?
So,
we'll be seeing him a lot at the next festival.
And we did not see Spike when we first did this, and I had somebody who wrote to me and said that we missed 2, and Spike the bee was one of them.
And you notice he's enjoying smelling these beautiful flowers up there?
That's actually a great location for him.
Perfect. And here's another Pascal here in the still closed shop.
Yeah, the Clocks and Crafts. And the last time the store was open was for the pass holder. We did it like a year ago for pass holders.
And that was great. I enjoyed it. We bought quite a few things, including the jacket you wore this day.
We still have, there's still stores and restaurants that haven't yet reopened.
And Pascal number 3, with some caramel couche.
Yes, having a piece of caramel corn.
Yummy. It looks good to me. Enjoying Pascal. And while we were in Germany, the next time we tried the wine braised beef short ribs, and our friend Quinn tried the wild boar cassoulet. There's the wild boar.
And maybe
he said the boar was very nice. It wasn't overly spicy. It was like sausage, kind of like a sausage. I thought this very tender, very good flavor. Everything was great and a good portion. I'm so glad that we tried this one.
I thought it was a nice portion too. It was a nice chunk of steak, and very very tender. It melted in your mouth. You don't need a knife for it. It just comes apart when you hit it with a fork.
And it was chilly, and we did this clip, but it was still hot when we were having it. So I mean, it was served in a good temperature. I
thought it was excellent. It has a parsnip puree as well.
And there is some behind the magic. There is Denise taking a picture of some of these characters here at the outpost.
The hyenas, and they've been here. They've been here either every year that they've done this, or almost every year. And they've got one of the hot dogs. You've got the restaurant below serving hot dogs, and I think that's always fun.
And now we're here in China.
And China has several different characters. You have, I don't know if we're looking.
We're going to see all of them, but the first one is Mushu. And Mushu was the very first character at the first year that we discovered. We just saw him on a wall. And I'm like, that's interesting. Why is Mushu here? I've never seen this before. And then we found more. And nobody knew about this, so it was kind of like a discovery at that point.
It was really, back then it was really fun to discover these, but it still is. I think they look as good as, I think they look better. I think they must have.
The colors are better.
Yes. I think they may have redone some of these just to kind of really even give maybe a little more depth.
And I'm going to rely on you to set up this next character because I can never remember this one's name.
I think Little Brother, who is the dog, and
is that the name of him?
Little Brother? Yes.
How do I forget these things?
Well, I mean, we haven't seen the movie in a while.
That's true.
So, it's not hard to forget a few names.
So now we're at Norway, and what are we going to discover here?
I don't know which one first.
Oh, okay. It'll be the Snoggies.
Because the second one that we were told
that was
about,
a later development.
Yes.
We did not find that on the first day.
And the Snoggies were here definitely last year and probably in just all the previous years.
Perfect location. And now Anna and Elsa are meeting together outside, and you can actually wait in line and have a distance photo with them.
Yeah. And so also Donald just restarted also over in the Mexico Pavilion.
Now, I had mentioned we're going to see one of the Figment
Brush with the
Masters, and this is a nice throwback tribute to the Maelstrom attraction, and you get a nice view of the trolls there.
Mm-hmm. And we did not buy it this year. I don't know if we'll be doing the Scavenger Hunt this year.
Maybe
if we,
because I think it's a paint
time.
Your own Figment is the reward, and I kind of like that.
So. Oh, well, it's a paint your own. They have several different characters. There is Bruni. And he is in the fireplace. We did not find him. I don't know that we would have found him.
Yeah, he was a tough one.
He was. So we have here in Mexico, Dante is back in 2 forms.
And this is the last of our quest. So we have completed finding all the chalk art characters around World Showcase.
I really enjoy this quite a bit, and it's free. You know,
well, your prize is the satisfaction
knowing
of
that,
finding them all.
knowing that you found some, and I like that. And you can really do the other one, the Figment's Brush with the Masters. You can do also in that form. You don't have to do it for a prize. You can just go around looking for them. So Trevor Carson is really one of my favorite artists at EPCOT International Festival of the Arts. He does these paintings in like 10 minutes. We saw him painting Tinkerbell, not on stage.
Right.
A couple days ago.
It was great when you asked him, do you normally paint all your things in 10 minutes? And he's like, oh, no. When I'm not performing, he takes his time and just does the painting at a regular pace.
Well, the Tinkerbell, he said he had been working on her working on it for an hour and a half.
Right.
So, which sounds like a lot.
But
when
this is 10 minutes. Look at how
10
beautiful the
minutes.
Goofy is right there.
It's really amazing. He's on stage this weekend with another artist, so they're both
side by side. Yes,
side by side. Yes, I saw a little bit of video of it, and that's what he told us. This would be the only weekend for that. So there is Goofy. It's really amazing. He gets on stage. Like, how do you even know you're going to be able to do it? What if you mess up? And he never messes up. He never seems to mess up.
It's quite amazing.
It is.
So now we're going to try one of the donuts here at the donut box. I think it's called the Inside Out donut.
Well, you can see it right there. It says
there it is.
Inside Out. And I actually don't know why it's called Inside Out. Why is it called Inside Out?
Well, when you open it up and you're going to show it, it'll be inside out because you're showing the insides.
Oh, I don't know.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I really don't.
See, look, Inside Out, but yes. It was really good.
It was good.
It was excellent. I thought it was great.
Well, I thought it was, fairly average. Actually,
it
was nice.
I would have it again.
Okay. It wasn't, as far as a dessert, I thought my dessert in the Morocco Pavilion I enjoyed more. So this is Imagineer artwork called Drawing on Inspiration, Celebrating 50 Years of Magic. And really, I posted an article and I showed some of the details in here. The various Imagineers, talk about their inspiration, and they showcase, like here you've got, this is a Peach Boys.
Yes.
This one has all 4 different parks And, you know, just each one is different. And
beautiful. I mean, this is art that I would love to have in my house. I mean, absolutely beautiful artwork here.
Well, not only beautiful, but there's little things you can discover within
with
it.
all the details.
Yes,
right?
And different characters.
There's Smart One. You have the Orange Bird. You have Figment.
Country
Bears.
But Figment is the star of the festival, so you know. But you still have all these other characters as well. You have Chubby.
Yeah, I see Chubby. Yes, I couldn't remember. See, I got to work on the names of these guys. I own a Chubby.
You remember Smart One?
That's true. Well, Smart One is from my time in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
I loved Smart One.
I forgot the name of Smart One. So Disney on Broadway is they play these shows, which we really enjoy them. We saw Carrie Butler and Telly Lung. He has starred in Aladdin on Broadway, and she many years ago played Belle in Beauty and the Beast, and she's been on Broadway in a variety of other shows as well. But they're so talented. And, you know, I feel really fortunate that we're here and we can watch these shows.
That's right, because last year, again, it was the taste of the EPCOT International Festival of the Arts. And in this location, the America Gardens Theater, we had the Voices of Liberty, and they were performing Disney music.
And that was nice, but it's great to have Disney on Broadway back. And then for EPCOT International Flower and Garden Festival, we will have national music back as well, like Rick Springfield in March. Yes, and so I'm really looking forward to that. And we also attended a media event where I was able to have a couple of interviews. One of them is for merchandise with Becky, and the other one is with Chef Kevin, and he talks about some of the new items for the festival this year that they came up with.
I'm Becky with Festival Merchandise.
And we're looking at the EPCOT International Festival of the Arts merchandise. And can you tell us about some of the special
Absolutely.
items here?
So Figment has lent his artful touch to our merchandise this year. And we have anything from a short sleeve Henley with Mickey, Figment, and their friends to spirit jerseys. Always one of our most popular items. Make a masterpiece today. Figment is being very creative with all of the different aspects of the festival, food and beverage, art, merchandise. Then we have a new item this year, which is our box set of note cards. There's 4 different note cards in the box set, and you get 2 of each pattern. Also, very popular at all 4 of our parks are pin trading. So we have 4 different pins available for this festival, 2 limited edition, a limited release, and an annual pass holder pin. We also have a pass holder long sleeve hoodie t-shirt. Another new item this year is our Painter's Palette plate, which is very fun. Kids can go home and make art with their food at home.
Or adults.
Or adults, sure. Magic bands, we have 2 different magic bands. One is a 1000 edition and one is 2000. They come in purple and white with Figment painting on the band as well. And then we have our Scavenger Hunt map, which is called Figment's Brush with the Masters, where guests go around all 11 countries and they look for Figment art. And then that is the prize that they get when they complete the map. And it's a paintable statue. And then lastly, we have our festival poster. This poster was created by one of our artists that we actually feature here at the festival called Fenway Fan. And that is the official 2022 poster featuring Soul.
That's really nice.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
You're welcome.
My name is Chef Kevin Downing, and I am the chef of the EPCOT Festival team. And we are here today to talk a little bit about some of the food items at this year's EPCOT International Festival of the Arts. And we're going to start with one of our reimagined food studios gourmet landscapes. And the inspiration behind all of these dishes is that these are inspired by landscapes, either foods that are foraged from the landscape or even look like a landscape themselves. So we have our roasted bone marrow with some pickled wild mushrooms, a little onion jam, and some petite lettuces. And then a beautiful plant-based offering as well, a blood orange braised beet carpaccio with some braised golden beets, some pickled mushrooms, mustard vinaigrette, some pumpkin seeds, and a little bit of blue cheese, plant-based blue cheese. When we move over a little bit, over in Artist's Table, we have our seared scallops. We've had seared scallops in that food studio before, but we've kind of taken a more elevated and fine dining approach with it. So a little more artistic plate, and then some butternut squash puree, brown butter cauliflower puree, and then some decorative elements of a black lace tuile, some Brunoise butternut squash, and a little bit of a brown butter snow. Down in front, over at Vibrante and Vivido, which debuted last year at the festival. This year it has an Encanto theme to it. So all the dishes inspired by the motion picture, including the dessert, which is our passion fruit mousse with a dragonberry jam, and then the decorative piece on top inspired by imagery from the motion picture. And all of these dishes, again, inspired by the movie. The studio sent us some food inspiration that we used to create the menu in that location, and it's been very well received so far. Deconstructed Dish has been at the festival since its inception, and this year we have a new item. This is our deconstructed French onion soup. So a unique play on a French onion soup where we take the broth and encapsulate it in a ravioli, and then kind of put all the components around. So when you crack into that ravioli, the broth kind of spills out, and you get that kind of unique play on the French onion soup. And then a couple other new items over at Pastoral Palette, which is near Germany. This is our wild boar cassoulet, so a house-made wild boar sausage with a nice hearty bean cassoulet. And then our Decadent Delight food studio featuring desserts, all inspired by the Art Deco movement. And this one here is our Decadent Valrhona chocolate mousse with a cassis center, a fudge brownie, and then a chocolate cremeux. And then our beverage team does a great job of creating some new cocktails, including our deconstructed apple pie a la mode. Has a beautiful layer of a gelato, cinnamon apple gelato, then some apple pie filling streusel, and then finished with a non-alcoholic sparkling apple cider. Our Brooklyn Pulp Art Hazy IPA is over in our Pop Eats, the can inspired by that Pop Art movement. So fits the theming over there perfectly, and then again, lots of beverages, wines, to finish out our entire festival.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Well, I see some more food items that we definitely have to go back and do some research on.
And also, I bought those note cards because I didn't know they had them, and they're beautiful note cards.
And I guess there's 2 of each design. Mm-hmm. Very nice. I think we'll end up with another set of those.
And, well, I think I'm going to get a few sets before they sell out. So Mickey and Minnie were at the, had a dessert party for the media event at the end of the night. Mm-hmm. This is actually several different outings we've had to EPCOT. I think 3 outings to EPCOT for the EPCOT International Festival of the Arts. And one of those days was Media Day. And so Mickey looks really great, huh?
So dapper. Look at Mickey, looks great. And Minnie, you can see the fire in the background. Mm-hmm. It was a beautiful night to be out there. And again, anytime you can meet the characters, at least for me, in completely new outfits for me is good. And they were a lot of fun, by the way. Not too long of a line. And then we had Harmonious Viewing. And
this is the best viewing I have personally had for Harmonious. You know, there's kind of a little bit of an elevation, so we could really get a terrific view. It's, you know, for me, it's not as great as Illuminations Reflections of Earth, but I enjoyed especially that fireworks shooting that we just saw. I thought was really nice.
This is my favorite part of Harmonious, when all of the perimeter fireworks are going on, or perimeter, whatever they're called, are being shot up. Right?
Those
you know what I'm trying to say? Yes, like, you can't see coming. Because I'm doing it with my arm, where you're surrounded by the fireworks.
Well, you know, Reflections of Earth had that as well.
Right.
And of course, I love the music, and we get to see fireworks every day if we want to. And that's something that's really incredible, living so close to Walt Disney World.
And now we're going to look at another one of my very favorite aspects of the festival this year.
Well, not only, you know, the festival, but for Walt Disney World's 50th, the Spaceship Earth as a beacon of magic, and this is a lighting package that's going to continue, you know, is one of my favorite aspects of the 50th anniversary. So they did, for EPCOT International Festival of the Arts, a light show with the Rainbow Connection from the Muppets soundtrack.
It's wonderful, and the thing is, you can watch it over and over. I mean, you'll see the Beacon show, the Beacon of Magic, and then there'll be a short little break, and then they'll do the Muppet number. And I've talked to people that stood there and watched it for an hour. They just watch the Muppets over and over, because it really is just the fact that you're in EPCOT looking at Spaceship Earth, hearing the Rainbow Connection. It was it was really a wonderful experience. I loved it.
I mean, during the holidays, they had something for the holidays.
A Christmas medley.
So I assume, seasonally, we will have something new. And I just think that this is, what they did with Spaceship Earth is gorgeous.
We've seen a lot of things. We've seen Spaceship Earth as a Death Star. We've seen Mike Wazowski on Spaceship Earth. And now we've had the Muppets Rainbow Connection.
Well,
what can come next?
Well, the other ones were actually
They were projections,
yes.
but it's still, Spaceship Earth is a great canvas for art.
And that is another show.
That is another show. We want to thank our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
Check them out. They can, they've been doing cruises. They've been checking out Walt Disney World, Disneyland, really doing a lot of research.
And Universal Resorts,
Yes,
Universal,
they do
not
that.
just Disney. They really can handle just about anything.
Well, they're Disney specialists and really they're Universal specialists as well. And cruises, because, Becky's been on the Virgin cruise, so many different cruises already, Royal Caribbean and all that since cruising restarted.
Yeah, we've heard good things about that Scarlet Lady, it's called, the Virgin Cruise. So we'll have to look into that ourselves.
Well, Matt and Jackie just
that's
from
why we
Attractions
just
Magazine
discussed it with them
just went on
a couple days ago. So they had a very nice cruise.
So, yeah, and coming up, I don't know what's coming up.
Well, I'll tell you what's coming up. We are... weather permitting, which it looks like it will be, we'll be going to Disney's Animal Kingdom for the return of Kevin. Kevin is back, appearing somewhere, somehow, at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Not yet.
Well,
Not yet.
tomorrow, Sunday.
Supposedly tomorrow, and I we just did Port Orleans French Quarter, but I don't know if that will be on the show. That might just be a separate thing where I talk about it, like a video walk of it. I don't know. Like this week isn't one. Oh, SeaWorld for
The new roller coaster.
Yeah. So this is not one of those weeks where you're like, we're definitely doing this and this and this.
But I have a feeling there will be some really good things. We could talk about Disneyland next week and Lunar New Year. We have one of our reporters out at the Peanuts Knots celebration, or Knots Peanuts celebration, right? So that'll be. I've already seen some great photos, and he always comes through with great content. So we'll have that. So there'll be a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I just it's not one of those things where it's like, okay, well, Tuesday and Wednesday we're doing this, and it's...
Well, we know we have the coaster, the icebreaker. We'll be breaking the ice.
And I think that's...
And it will feel like ice because it's going to be chilly on Thursday.
So, yeah, this week obviously was pretty much all about Festival of the Arts, so it'll be interesting to see what we come up with for next week.
So thanks again for listening, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.